Okay, resetters, on this video, we got to talk about one of the best reasons you want to intermittent fast, and it's way beyond weight loss. Although I do like weight loss as a great tool reason you want to fast, but I want you to stay for what I'm about to tell you. Okay, so let's walk through this. I want you to think about what your body's doing when you're fasting. So you've now switched over into this fat burning state. This usually happens around 13 to 15 hours. When you've switched over, the way you know you're burning fat is because of the presence of ketones. So ketones are a byproduct of fat burning. And what ketones do is your brain gobbles them up. The minute they go into your bloodstream, the minute the liver senses you're in a fasted state, it makes these ketones and the brain goes, thank you. You've now given me 50% of the fuel source I need. Okay, think about it in that topic for one moment. If you're just looking at the power of a ketone, one of the things that it's doing is it's a fuel source for the brain, and if you never make yourself a ketone, the brain's losing 50% of its fuel source. So this is why I want the whole world fasting. So now we've got this ketone that comes on, the brain gobbles it up. All these neurons that are sending information to each other, you have trillions of neurons in your brain, they're being repaired. So you're getting better mental clarity. You're able to hold on to information better. You're improving your memory. So just from the presence of ketones. But the longer you stay in this fasted state, the more ketones come in, what's happening is now you're stimulating GABA production. And GABA is that calming neurotransmitter that just brings your body into a centered, and your mind into a place of feeling grounded and clear and calm. Those of you that have stayed over in the fat burning place and fasted for 24, 48, 72 hours, you know what that feels like. It's like this very calm, focused energy. And that's because ketones bring on GABA. And the more GABA you have, the calmer you will feel. Now, special note to my menopausal women. You have to understand that as you go after 40, and as progesterone goes down, you get less GABA production, making the ketone critical for your mental health. You've got to have that ketone come in so that GABA production can come up because you don't have progesterone stimulating it. So let's use a ketone to stimulate it. Now, beyond that, when we look at what else GABA does, is it primes your parasympathetic nervous system. So remember that you have two nervous systems. You have one that's fight or flight, and this happens when you're stressed. And you have one that's parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest system. And just like we're meant to go sugar burner, fat burner, we're meant to go rest and digest and fight or flight. In a day, you should be going in and out of those two states, but too many of you are not doing that. You're staying stuck in fight or flight. And so your rest and your digest nervous system is being adversely affected. That's a huge, huge problem because now when you sit on the couch, you can't even relax, or you go on vacation, you can't even relax because this system has become it's weakened because of the lack of use. So when we intermittent fast, we go into this ketogenic state. When we start to make ketones, we start to stimulate GABA. When GABA comes on the scene, now we prime that parasympathetic nervous system. So the next time you go into fight or flight, you're going to be able to go back into parasympathetic much easier because you've trained that system. Does that make sense? Okay, I got to interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle. And all you've got to do is click here and you can jump right in. Now, one last thought that I think is really important, which is there are many ways that we can train our parasympathetic nervous system beyond ketones and GABA, and that's by stimulating something called the endocannabinoid system. And we haven't talked enough about that, and it's really important that we dive into this conversation, especially for those of you that are dealing with a lot of mental health issues and challenges. And the thing about the endocannabinoid system is when it is activated, it starts to prime your parasympathetic nervous system. You actually make CBD within your body. You internally make that, and that goes into receptor sites, and it stimulates the endocannabinoid system and calms you. But the older you get, the less of these cannabinoids you're making on the inside, and that endocannabinoid system weakens, weakening your parasympathetic nervous system, causing you to be in fight or flight longer. You see where I'm going with this? So it's super important that we have ways to stimulate the endocannabinoid system, and honestly, the best way to do it is through something like CBD products. But what we're learning about CBD products is that A, they have to be clean. So you can get CBD from hemp, you can obviously get it from marijuana, so you've got to make sure that they're clean products. When you're looking at hemp, remember that hemp doesn't have a lot of THC in it. We also know that there's things like CBG and CBN that's really important for stimulating this endocannabinoid system. So you want to make sure that you're getting a good CBD product that's very clean, but it also needs to have all these pieces. It needs to have CBG, CBN, and CBD to be able to fully bring your endocannabinoid system into balance. This is why I love Cured Nutrition. You hear me talk about it a lot on my podcast. I'm telling you about it now. I'll leave links so you guys can get access to these incredible products that they've created. I've been playing with CBD products for years, and nothing has ever been balanced my parasympathetic and my endocannabinoid system as well as Cured Nutrition. So please check that out. But when we look at why we would fast for mental health issues, we have to remember we need ketones to make GABA. GABA primes the parasympathetic nervous system. So now we're learning to rest and digest a lot better. Now we come in with something like a Cured Nutrition product, and we're able to start to prime the endocannabinoid system as well. And now we're going to balance stress a lot better. And mentally, we're going to become a lot more relaxed, and we're going to enjoy all aspects of life more. So I hope you followed that, because I know so many of you come into fasting wanting to lose weight, but I want you to stay for the incredible benefits, not only to your rest and digest nervous system, but to your overall mental health and moods. So put in the notes, if you've noticed the longer that you've gone, in the comments, put the longer you've been fasting, have you noticed that anxiety's changed? Have you noticed that depression's changed? Put it in the comments, because we are a community here, and I do these videos to support you. And I'm super excited that Cured Nutrition has created such amazing products and are giving you discounts. And I'll put the discounts, you can see them in the notes. Usually you just use my last name and they will give you a discount. But just don't give up on yourself. And those of you that have come in the door of fasting for weight loss, I want you to stay for mental health improvement, because there's a whole lot there. Hope that helps. Okay, if you loved that video and you want to dive into more of the information I have on this channel, go to this video. So if we're eating the same way all the time, then we're going to get stuck and we might actually gain weight.